pea protein, rice protein. These are all sources of protein that you can use in a supplemental fashion. Now, I'm a big believer in food, but one of the big problems with food is we have to cook it and we have to process it, whether that processing involves chopping or dicing or freezing or boiling, whatever that processing is. And whenever you process a food, you lose the nutritional value. The beautiful thing about whey protein is you don't have to process it, or protein powders is you don't have to process it. You just add it into water and drink it. By the way, I'm a bachelor. I don't really have time to cook or the inclination to cook. So one of the neat things about whey protein is you put it in water, you drink it, or you put it in your blender and you throw a few other things in and you drink it. One dish to wash, no muss, no fuss. You're well nutriated. That's one of the neat things about supplementing is it's brain fart free. Brain damage free. It's easy to do. You just add the stuff to water and you drink it. And that's one of the neat things about nutritional supplements as well, is you can get your nutrients without having to waste a lot of time in the kitchen. As far as food goes, that's a whole nother story, because I think foods are very important. But the less work you give your digestive system, the longer you will live. So the key to longevity and the key to health and wellness is to figure out a way get lots of nutrients without lots of calories. Calories represent heat and calories represent work. Nutrients are, in a way, they're the opposite. Because your body doesn't have to work, the body actually gets work. The body actually gets energy. The body actually gets the raw materials when you take in nutrients. When you take in calories, the body has to process the calories. Calories represent heat. The body stores those calories. A lot of work goes into the digestive process that is bypassed when you use a nutritional supplement program like whey protein powder. And by the way, that's just chapter 1. There's a lot more to it, but that's just chapter 1. Then you go into fat, and another thing, this is another really important thing. Your brain is constantly reading the blood. See, your brain's in the dark. It's in your head. It doesn't know what's outside there. The only way it knows what's in the outside world is by reading the blood that's passing through it. So your brain is constantly scanning the blood for specific nutrients to determine whether you're hungry or not. And when it sees those nutrients, those specific nutrients, it sends the message, hey, we don't need to eat. In other words, it shuts down the appetite. On the other hand, when it's missing those nutrients, it says, go get some food, we're missing nutrients. Well, the key nutrients that the brain is looking for to determine appetite, or lack thereof, is tryptophan, which is a very important amino acid, you can think of it like a protein, and glutamine, which is another very important amino acid, and you can think of it like a protein. So essentially, the brain is reading the blood for specific proteins to determine whether you're hungry or not, or whether we're hungry or not. So if you want to shut down your appetite, protein is your best friend. Concentrated protein is your best friend. If you want to lose weight, concentrated protein is your best friend. Because what happens is your protein levels in your blood rise, and as the blood goes through your brain reads the protein levels and it says, ah, all is right in the world. Now, it's specifically reading the blood for these building amino acids, specifically tryptophan and glutamine, which from an evolutionary perspective, these were the amino acids that were in the foods that we hunted. Back when we were paleological, when we lived on the African savanna 50,000 years ago, tryptophan and glutamine meant we just killed a wildebeest, or we just killed a zebra. And it's summertime on the African savanna, and all is right in the world. So you don't have to go eat. Now we can take all that energy, we can put it into muscles. Conversely, when tryptophan levels are low, and glutamine levels are low, protein levels are low in the blood, the brain reads the blood, it sees the protein levels are low, the amino acid levels are low, the tryptophan and the glutamine levels are low. Guess what it does? It sends you out to go find food.
Store up anything you can find.
Store it, exactly. And what kind of food? Sugar, because sugar is very important to the brain. So when your protein levels are low and your amino acid levels are low, tryptophan and glutamine, you're going to be on a one-pointed, highly focused hunt for sugar, and your brain is going to take that, your body is going to take that sugar, and under orders from your brain, it's going to store it on your gut or on your butt because it thinks a famine is coming. It thinks wintertime is approaching. So protein, ingestion of protein, proper ingestion of protein, tells the brain that all is right in the world. It's summertime on the African savanna. There's plenty of food, and we can put all those nutrients into building muscle so we can go out and hunt and do all the things human beings are supposed to do. Protein is a dieter's best friend. And I hate willpower. I don't have any willpower, and I don't believe dieting or good health should be a question of willpower. Because to me, willpower is this battle that's going on in your body. And that's not a good thing. You don't want to have a battle going on in your body. Good health should be as easy as a piece of ripe fruit just dropping off of a tree. And when you give yourself high protein, and you give yourself concentrated amounts of protein, 0.5 gram to 1 gram per pound of body weight, you'll find that your sugar cravings just naturally go away. If you don't have enough protein and somebody puts sugar in front of you, you can have all the willpower you want. You're going to have a tough time turning that sugar down. You'll be like, my diet starts tomorrow. And that's what most people do. But if you go to your party where there's going to be the birthday cake or the cherry pie, you go loaded up on protein, it's going to be much easier to withstand the cravings and the urges and the drives, which are really hardwired in your interest. Remember, your brain is in the dark. It doesn't know it's in the year 2011 in Austin, Texas. It thinks it's on the African savannah 50,000 years ago. So you have to give the brain what it needs in order to be happy on the African savannah 50,000 years ago. So protein is chapter 1. Can I go on to continue?
Let's do it.
Okay. Chapter 2 is fats. And just like protein is a dieter's best friend because it'll get you off the sugar, fat is a dieter's second best friend because it'll get you off the bad fat. The good fat will get you off the bad fat. Our body's need for protein is hardwired, and our body's need for fat is hardwired as well. And if you are low fat, if you are deficient in fat, and somebody puts a slice of pizza in front of you, there is no way you are going to be able to withstand that because the drive for fat is built into your brain. So what do? You get yourself essential fatty acids. In nutrition, whenever you hear that word essential, that means your body can't make it. It has to come in from the outside. And there are 2 fatty acids. You can just think of them for simplicity's sake as fats. There are 2 types of fats that are said to be essential because our body can't make it, your body needs it, but it has to come from the outside. If you don't have enough essential fatty acids, whatever fat is sitting in front of you, you're going to go for it because your body's need for fat, like your body's need for protein, is hardwired. So if you want to get off the sugar, you go for the protein. If you want to get off the pizza, or you want to get off the French fries or the fat, go for essential fatty acids. Now, essential fatty acids, the role in the body is tremendously, tremendously important. But one of the most important places where essential fatty acids play a role is they get converted into something called master hormones. And master hormones are hormones that regulate all of the other hormones. They're transcendent to all of your other hormones, and they come directly from essential fatty acids. Without essential fatty acids, you cannot make those master hormones. Master hormones regulate all the opening and closing of your body, all the opening and closing of blood vessels, nerves firing or not firing. Any kind of dynamic movement in the body is regulated by these master hormones, which in turn come from essential fatty acids. There are many Americans who go cradle to grave without enough essential fatty acids because they're so difficult to find from food.
Yeah.
If you're not supplementing, you're not getting them. You can almost one-to-one treat your fat cravings as deficiencies in essential fatty acids. So getting yourself on a good essential fatty acid is unbelievably important. There's 2 ways to do it. You can do it in liquid fashion. There's many brands of liquid. Or the easy way to do it is capsules, like the Youngevity product, the Ultimate EF